Welcome to the 72 Lines channel. This is a review on Door Kickers 2. So, Door Kickers 2 is a top-down strategy and tactics game about using intelligence assets and controlling special operation units in daring raids to neutralize terrorists in the fictional country of now Iraqi, Middle East. The main feature of this game, as well as other games of this genre, is a convenient top view that allows you to properly analyze the situation and plan the upcoming operation, like how it really happens in the work of special services. So how does the gameplay itself happen? After launching the mission, the first thing you need is to deploy the squad and choose the fighters. Also in the game, there is the possibility of customization of all combat units. You can change the name, appearance, weapons, sights, hang up a silencer, choose another bulletproof vest, take a grenade, a sledgehammer, or leave one or another slot empty to preserve the mobility of your combat unit. The choice is yours. At this stage of development, there are 3 squads in the game. And now, I will tell you in more detail about each. Rangers are perfect for both lightning-fast assaults and night operations, where it is necessary to act covertly, quickly, and cleanly due to the fact that they have an extensive arsenal and skills that allow them to perform complex combat tasks, minimizing risks for fighters. CIA agents are suitable for tasks, where it is better to act covertly, due to any circumstances, since units of this group have the ability to disguise themselves as local residents, so that enemies do not recognize them as an agent until they notice suspicious actions behind them. The local special forces carry out heavy and massive assaults in the hottest spots. The choice of equipment for these fighters is small, which significantly complicates the gameplay, but I assume that the features of this unit are still in development, and in the near future developers will supplement this group with new equipment, weapons, and maybe some other distinctive features in order to build a balance between all units properly and diversify the gameplay to keep the interest in the game for each group. Okay, now that we have some idea about our squads, we can get back to the gameplay. In each mission, a combat group and its composition are initially selected, but, as you already know, you can change it according to your style of play. So, you chose a squad and equip the units. After that, you need to choose a location for them. If you suddenly notice that there are unoccupied locations on the map, then you should probably think about where it would be most convenient to start the mission from. After you have decided on the deployment location and press the play key, you will proceed to the planning stage. As you probably already guessed, here you need to think through a plan of your actions to complete the task. It is not necessary for this plan to be painted from beginning to end. It is enough to develop a plan for your initial actions, and then you will be able to move step by step towards your goal. Because despite the fact that the gameplay itself takes place in real time after the operation begins, there is a pause in the game that will be your main assistant. Well, it's time to introduce you to the scripts. At the moment, there are 8 scenarios in the game. So, the first scenario that will be discussed is called Clear Hostile. The main task of this scenario is to clean up the map from terrorists. Hostage Rescue. Here you need to rescue civilians taken hostage. While it is not necessary to eliminate the terrorists, the priority is saving the lives of civilians. Stop execution. No matter what, it is necessary to stop the executioner before the timer next to him expires, and of course the elimination of all terrorists in this scenario is mandatory. Abduction High-value target. Your priority task is to arrest the militant leader. If he dies, the mission will be a failure. You need to act carefully, as it is not uncommon for him to be surrounded by a large number of personal guards. So if there is a serious shootout, try to adjust the line of fire, so that our client does not fall on it.
Hands behind your back. Primary target secured.
Extract the VIP. It is necessary to evacuate the VIP person from the territory controlled by the militants. As a rule, Such tasks are carried out by CIA agents behind enemy lines with the support of the local resistance groups. Raid on Stronghold. In this scenario, your main task will be to reduce the arsenal of militants. It will be necessary to destroy AGM, SAM, ammunition, and so on. The main thing to remember is that these expensive toys are well guarded. Do not underestimate the enemy. Bomb defusal. An extremely dangerous scenario, because the stakes here are extremely high, you know. You need to work fast. The first priority is to defuse the bomb, and only then proceed to the cleanup. Quick Reaction Force. The last, specific scenario on our list. Here you will have non-standard tasks of the highest complexity. At the moment, there are only 2 missions in the game with this scenario. In one of them, you will need to destroy the surviving wreckage of the plane in a city full of civilians and militants to keep secret technologies, and in the other to rescue a group of special forces from the environment. The time in these missions is extremely limited due to the fact that there will be more and more militants every minute. I advise you to pass them only when the level of training of your units is already high, and the equipment is the best. There are 77 missions in the game, but even if it happens that you pass them all, there is also a mission generator that will generate new maps for you according to the parameters you set. Let's add to this the Craftsman from the Steam Workshop, and I think we should not forget that the game is still under development. By the way, the developers recently made an announcement of the company for the game. In general, already now the game can drag on for tens or even hundreds of hours. And if suddenly, some cool idea for a mission appears, I think that with a little understanding of the editor, you will be able to implement this, because in my opinion, the developers have made editor one of the most convenient and understandable of all that I have ever met. Oh, and I completely forgot to say that there's still a perfectly working cooperative in the game. You come in, create a game, invite a friend and go ahead. By the way, you can play both with a friend and with some stranger, although you will have to wait a little for him to be found. In conclusion, I want to say, despite the fact that the game is still under development, there are absolutely no bugs, which allows you to fully immerse yourself in the gameplay, which already has a certain variety. So, if you like tactical shooters, strategies, and other games of similar genres, I strongly advise you to try Door Kickers 2. The link to the official website of the developers, as to the page in the Steam store, will be in the description. And since you've watched it to the end, thanks for your attention and don't forget to subscribe. Hope see you later.